Welcome, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we are finally going to be reacting to Overlord. It's a long time coming. I did the Overlord openings almost a year ago. Got really excited about it. It just looked so interesting. Then I recently did the endings. Same thing. Great music, great animation. Just looked like a very interesting characters and just everything all around. So it's something I have been wanting to react to, and finally you guys voted on it, and it was one of the top 3 over on my Patreon, patreon.com/ajrich123. It won out completely, so we are starting this first. And this was actually the one I really wanted to do, so I'm very excited to start this show finally. If you are new to the channel, we do this slot is every Sunday and Wednesday, so you will get 2 episodes a week. But if you want to check out episodes early or uncut, you can check out the Patreon, patreon.com/ajrich123. Also, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff, and let's go ahead and start. MMO RPG. 西暦2126年に発売されたそのタイトルはあまた開発された DMM. So people are still playing MMOs in 2126. Think of this in like VR. In 2126 I would think it would be like VR and you would be, oh man, that would be epic. Oh damn. And they seem a little scared. Random slime. Wouldn't that looks like if you were dead or something? That's like the form you would sit in. This is like me though, like in an MMO, hanging out at well, me as a kid. It's so okay. So the skeletons, it's an MMO, so it's based off a player or a player's playing it, but. Oh, that's happened to me before. That is actually kind of hard if you're close to, if that's the game you've been like power leveling or playing like crazy. Yeah, how would you randomly, unless you live by them or something? All those hundreds and thousands of hours you put into power leveling your characters, all for nothing. All that DLC. Holy. Just to get, I mean, it's an epic looking item, but. I thought there was no players online. Like, there was no, all the people in their group left. Oh. These must be NPCs. Okay. Oh, you can actually control them like that? That's actually, I mean, I guess it's 21 whatever. You should be able to do something like that at this point. Kind of cool though. You don't really see a lot of that, being able to like move your NPCs around. So like realistic though. Like pretty, oh, there she is. Okay. For the longest time, guys, I've been wondering, like, I saw the openings, it made me want to get this. Like, I was looking at waifu pillows at the time, and I had to get this, and now I can at least finally meet who the hell you are. Like, this has been here for like 9 months, and I have had no idea who she actually is. Oh man, I just saw her like in the opening. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get a fucking waifu pillow. I mean, does that make me lame? Probably a little bit, but let's continue this. So organized. Yes. She was an NPC? Okay, it makes sense. Of course she's an NPC. She has fucking horns. On the outside, she is a perfect beauty, by the way. On the inside, she's a bitch. Who programs an MMO? Oh, shit. I guess it kind of sounds like women I date. Uh-oh. sounds like my type. Okay. That's crazy, though. They're never that thorough when they make definitions like that on NPCs. I mean, you know, whatever makes you feel better, so you can mess with like the descriptions. It would be cool to have that. I mean, even in a game, there's so much control in this. I think that is pretty interesting. That doesn't sound right. Wait, the person's name is Touch Me? I mean, you can have a lot of good times in an MMO. I definitely have. But level 100. I mean, you can definitely tell this game meant a lot to him because he's staying until it closes. I had this experience with a game called Ashran's Call, which probably no one's ever heard of, but I played it as like a little kid, and then it died like years and years later, and I was on it even though I hadn't played in years. I went back on it just to have nostalgia. So I kind of feel the same thing this guy's feeling towards a game that you really cared about and you met people and you had these experiences with. I don't know, you guys can let me know if you've ever played an MMO. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ever played an MMO that made you feel like that, because I definitely have, and it's I kind of relate to this a little bit. Maybe they decided to make the game longer or keep it an extra day. Is this like a Sword Art Online? Wait a sec. Okay. So she just casually talked. It seemed like it was either fantasy, but I didn't think it would go like isekai type style, like in the sense of just straight up like you're stuck in a game type concept. But if you can't access the menu or anything, and now these NPCs are talking, I'm getting huge Sword Art Online vibes. I mean, yeah, huge ones. But now your NPCs can talk to you. Oh, boobs. Yes. Yeah, see, isn't that a little realistic? Well, it's the same thing he was doing before. Okay, now this is feeling more realistic. Like, and he's got a fucking harem right there full of NPCs that can actually talk now. I don't see a bad thing here. And you got, I mean, a hot girl like that right in front of you. So they're like casually talking now. I remember seeing the opening, and I was like, she looks really turned on, and I think that was like the biggest thing. I was like, oh, I gotta get this. I'm like, yeah, now I'm seeing why. And I think, didn't he write something like you like he was writing something in the description or something that you like, you know, you're in love with him or whatever. So now she's like, I wonder if that, like, she wasn't before, and now that he wrote it down, that's like fact. So like in this description, but does that mean she's a bitch on the inside too then? I mean, kind of double win, really, right? What? Just a touch. She's like getting everything from one touch. God damn, this guy's got balls. I can't fault him. This is exactly what I would do. I'm sorry. Finally, episode 1. Episode 1, a girl is gonna do this for you in episode 1, and it's not a hentai. Maybe it became an adult game. He's not even doing anything, and she's getting like the biggest freaking rager ever. Wait. The whole time this just ends up becoming a hentai. I would not be able to have that type of restraint. Good on you. Good on you, friend. I'm calling it best girl already. Episode 1, that's hard to do. I am really liking this so far. Yes, he wrote that. Whatever's written in the descriptions, are they fact then? Does it actually shape their personality? It's such an awesome concept. He was like level 100, right? So he probably should have some OP like stuff. Though I don't know if that is that like the cap level though. It felt like he'd done everything. It seemed like he had done everything. The way he was acting. Huh. So these are NPCs, but they seem to have all like distinct, see like a completely different personality. Okay, so 2 lollies. I mean, it looks pretty epic. See, the way he's talking does not fit, like, his look. That's why it's so strange. If he's just a player, he could be, you know, anybody. This should be a lot different. Yeah, if you're used to playing the game, now you have to, like... I think that would make it tougher, right? Like, cap leveling and being, like, insanely strong and then getting, like, stuck in a game. So he can make his NPCs, like, attack for him or do whatever. See, that type of thing is pretty unique. One attacking twin, one magic twin. Or support. So they must all be pretty strong on their own as well. So wait, so is he the only one that this happened to then? Like, was he the only one in the game? I mean, do you eat and drink in this? Okay, you can just pull out anything. So I guess NPCs have to eat and drink too? Another one? But they're all, I thought he controlled them. They're all kind of showing up. I would completely prefer this over than just normal work life. 100%. You got like the thirstiest girl and then all these NPCs. That, I mean, how good can it get? So his base must be huge. That many floors. Like, no wonder he has that many NPCs. Okay, so she's the leader. This, you know, this seems more dark. Like, maybe it's just his look and like that dark aura that's coming out. And the eyes. It's weird because his character, the way he's talking naturally, right, is very like normal, like a normal person that's that plays a game, seems nice. But then his outside appearance, and obviously he was playing a game, but it's like, it looks like, you know, the ultimate boss in an MMO or a game or something. He looks like a bad guy. It's a big skeleton or whatever. And then it made me think at the very end there, they're all like, they're all worshiping him. And he's like, you know, up top, big skeleton guy. You see this dark aura going around him. I mean, and they seem like a bit demonic themselves when you look at them. Like, I get this feeling is he playing like, is he supposed to be like a bad guy or something? Like it just doesn't make sense with his personality, but the way, maybe it's just the way the characters are designed, but the way it looks like it looks like he's the bad guy. And if that's the truth, that is a complete different from the norm. I really hope that's true, because that's something that I haven't seen, because I was like, oh, this is kind of like sort of online, like that's like a, you know, stuck in the game, that type of concept, like stuck in the game. The NPC, you know, and NPCs, they could move around and stuff in that show, but this seemed interesting because you could even before, when he was just playing the game, he like was able to give that, like make them move around and do stuff. But then like when now they're all like moving alive, doing things on their own, it seems like they have their own conscience, like it's just a very cool concept. I'm just really liking this. I think it's this is obviously now this is an isekai. I try not to, like, when I do opening reactions or when I go into a show, I usually, especially if you guys recommend something, I usually try not to look at the, like, what exactly type of show it is, unless it's just told to me. From what I looked, I thought it was either a fantasy or some type of isekai, and it's an isekai for sure. That's what I usually assume when I see something like this. But yeah, I think this is an interesting concept. A very good first episode, like, for sure, like, great first episode. I mean, I waited like 9 months to figure out who the heck she is, and I am not disappointed, and now getting this is completely justified. Holy shit, that's a thirsty girl. I'm loving this show. Like, this is like completely, I like villain characters. I think they're very interesting when it comes to like how they're presented. He's playing a game, right? Technically he could be a skeleton and do and maybe not have to be a villain. Maybe it'll be different, but also like his appearance right there makes him look, like I said, makes him look like a main bad guy in a game or a show or something. So it's that's why I think this is, it's made me ask. I have like 1,000 questions in my head. He was level 100, which if I missed it, you guys let me know in the comments. But if that was that max level? That's my question. And if it wasn't max level, like, then that means maybe he's not, like, because if it's max level, and some MMOs, like, if you're the max level or whatever, there's a billion other people at the max level, and then you have to like up your stats or get certain items to make you stronger. And I'm wondering if that's the concept. It's not like he's super because there are other games, if you're max level, you're like super overpowered. So I'm wondering if it's, I feel like it's probably the former. He might be cap level, but they're probably, everybody, you know, could be cap level. It might have shown, I might have missed it too, like if they shown like the NPCs levels or not. You guys can let me know on that. I might go back on that, because I was trying to, I'm now that I'm thinking about it, they probably did, I would think. But if they didn't, I wonder if they're like significantly weaker than him, or if they're closer to his level. Because that's another thing with MMOs. Like, if you have a familiar or something like that, sometimes they're your same level. So even though this isn't like a familiar or like having like a pet or anything, a big like concept with it just seems really interesting to me. I don't know. I love that they, first of all, they showed like a lot of people that are under him, that are, girl seems to want to get under him, but I mean, like, seriously, those guys are definitely he is the superior. They take his orders and stuff, but they also seem to roam around, have their own personalities. So it's hard to really define them as NPCs anymore, right? Like, I can't, because an NPC will just do what's calculated and what's set in their programming. And it seems like they were more of following what they wanted to do, even though they were listening to him, other than the girl, where she seemed to be more so like, I don't know, like, he wrote in that description that she was in like love with him. So now, like, she was, you know, totally over the top in love. So I thought that was cool, and that makes a branch of a million other questions of, if her description was like that, does that mean everything that's written in a description before means that's how they are and that's how their personalities go and what they think? Because if that is, man, if he knew what to do there, he could have like done that to everybody and put whatever he wanted on any NPC, right? You could pretty much like warp the personalities. And actually, could he do it still? Like, can he access, well, he couldn't access anybody else, and he couldn't talk to like he couldn't access players or anything, so I doubt he could access descriptions. I'm wondering how that the menu concept would even work at this point. He was really talking, even though normally he'd be messaging. It seemed more like a like a type of thing where he was talking like telepathically to people, like in his head. That's what it seemed like. That's the way they were communicating. But anyway, holy crap. I wasn't expecting like such an, like, it wasn't action packed. It was just information overload, overload, like completely. I liked it. I was very, I mean, I thought it was a cool, like looking, you know, openings and stuff, but I liked the first episode. Some first episodes are slow. They don't really, but they literally put this out there right away in the first episode. So very entertaining. What did you guys think? Are you happy that I'm reacting to this show? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Or if I missed anything, you guys can let me know as well. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You can also check out these episodes early and uncut on my Patreon at patreon.com/AJRich123. I have a Twitter at AJRich123, as well as I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/AJRich. Go follow over there if you haven't. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.